An incensed judge excoriated, criticized extremely, the woman convicted of murdering her 8-year-old stepson by forcing him to sleep in an unheated garage in the winter. The judge called her evil and said that the maximum sentence of 25 years to life wasn't harsh enough due to the level of torture that she inflicted on her stepchildren. So thankfully, this evil stepmother, Angela Polina, 45 years of age, has been given the maximum sentence of 25 years to life. And I welcome the comments from the judge telling her that he would have liked to have given her an even harsher punishment if it was possible to. So we'll go through the details. Angela Polina, 45 years of age, had witnessed her husband, Michael Valva, turn a hose on young Thomas Valva before forcing him to sleep in the garage of their Long Island home in January 2020. Temperatures dropped to 19 degrees Fahrenheit, and this is absolutely horrendous. Thomas froze to death. Here's a comment from the judge. I've had the opportunity to visit the prison where you'll be sent. My only regret is that they don't have a garage there with no heat and no mattress and no blankets and no pillows. Nothing that belongs in a bedroom. So you could sleep there for the rest of your life because that's where you deserve to be for the rest of your natural life. So I appreciate the words from the judge, whose name is Judge Timothy Matsai, and he's basically telling this evil stepmother, Angela Polina, during the sentencing process, if it were up to him, if it were up to the judge, she would have to live in the circumstances that she put Thomas through. She made Thomas endure torture, forcing him to sleep in the garage with no heat, no mattress, no blankets, no pillows, nothing that any normal human being would have in a bedroom for their children. She deprived him of all of that. She forced him, tortured him to sleep in an extremely cold garage in the middle of winter, January 2020, and the judge would like her to have the opportunity to suffer the same way, but unfortunately that's not quite going to happen. She's going to be in prison. She's been sentenced to 25 years to life, and she'll get whatever comforts prison provides. I've never been to prison. Obviously, there are a number of hardships, but we do see, quite disturbingly, on TikTok, I think I've seen multiple videos of inmates, I think from England. They seemingly get access to mobile phones. They can have fun amongst themselves. So it's not complete hardship, and this scumbag, Angela Polina, as well as our husband, Michael Valva, deserve to live the rest of their natural lives in squalor, in my opinion, along with the judge's opinion. So I'll go back to the article. A Suffolk County jury last month found Angela Polina, the stepmother, guilty of second-degree murder and child endangerment for the death of her stepson, Thomas Valva. Thomas died of hypothermia after the stepmother and the father, Michael Valva, forced him and his 10-year-old brother, Anthony Valva, to sleep on the concrete floor of the garage after the father had sprayed them with a hose. Again, this happened in the middle of winter, January 2020. The father sprayed the two boys, Thomas, 8 years of age, and his brother Anthony, 10 years of age, sprayed them with water with a hose, make them absolutely soaked, and then forced them to sleep on the concrete floor in the garage. No heat, no blankets, no pillows. Thomas died, froze to death. So why did the father subject his two children to this? Well, because Thomas, who had autism, had soiled himself. I don't have children. I once was a child. I'm quite sure that soiling yourself, I mean, it's a thing that happens. It is natural, it's something that happens, and parents need to be caring in regards to, I'm not a parent, but you just handle it, don't you? Okay, right, let's clean this mess up. Here are some new pants to wear. Whatever it happens to be. What you don't do is hose two boys down with cold water and force them to sleep on a concrete garage floor. So Michael Valva was a former New York Police Department police officer, and he received the same sentence, 25 years to life. And really, the stepmother, Angela Polina, received her sentence for standing by, for knowing what was happening, for realizing that the life of Thomas was in danger, for being fully aware of the torture that was enacted on both boys, and standing by, not doing anything about it, enabling. So there is surveillance camera footage which was used as evidence, and seemingly there was audio on the footage. One of the other children in the home asked the stepmother, Angelina Polina, why Thomas couldn't walk, and she responded with an extremely cold, callous response. So she told the child, concerned about her brother Thomas, the stepmother said, because he's hypothermic. Hypothermic means you're freezing. Washing yourself in cold water when it's freezing outside, you get hypothermic. So the stepmother absolutely was fully aware of the grave physical danger that Thomas was in, She didn't do anything about it. She didn't request medical attention. She didn't take Thomas to the hospital. She didn't provide Thomas with a blanket, a heater. She didn't bring him inside, put him in a warm bath, if that's the right thing to do. I don't know if that it is. Perhaps it isn't. I'm sure there's specialized treatment for somebody that has hypothermia, but she did nothing. Thomas was ultimately pronounced dead at Long Island Community Hospital after going into cardiac arrest brought on by hypothermia. His body temperature was only 76 degrees when he arrived at the medical facility. He was freezing. The stepmother took the stand in her own defense and openly admitted that her actions were evil. So she literally said in a court, I was evil. But she attempted to soften her admission by saying she was having a hectic day dealing with her 3 daughters, and the stepmother continued to blame the father, Michael Valva, for being the cause of Thomas's death, which I would say is accurate. Absolutely, Michael Valva is responsible for the death of Thomas, and the stepmother is responsible and acted in a very evil way by just standing by and watching it happen, allowing it to happen, not acting, not protecting her stepchild, or actually stepchildren. She had a responsibility to protect her stepchildren. She failed to do that. She was too busy doing other things, be that with her 3 daughters or whatever else it was. She was actually paying her bills whilst Thomas was freezing to death. So it's disgusting. I'm glad the trial went ahead, and I'm glad that both the father, Michael Valva, and the stepmother have received the maximum sentences possible, 25 years to life. I would rather see the death penalty, frankly, for both of them, but I guess 25 years to life is an extremely long time. Like the judge, I do hope that they suffer in jail, in incarceration. I hope they suffer. I hope the guards, I hope the other inmates are able to find the time to have very cozy chats with the father, Michael Valva, and the stepmother, Angela Polina. Very cozy chats in which they're able to express their feelings of their treatment of Thomas Valva, as well as his brother Anthony Valva. Perhaps they won't get quite as many blankets as the other inmates. Perhaps they'll have a few cold nights on the concrete floor. I'm going to wrap things up at this point. If you appreciate the coverage, please do like, comment, subscribe, share the video. If you're happy to consider joining the memberships, that will be great. Don't watch too many of my videos, they get depressing. Please do watch some kitten videos, some puppy videos, or anything that's just going to bring a little bit more light and happiness into your mindset. I would like to make some more uplifting videos. I'll have to figure out how to do that, or otherwise engage with you guys. But anyway, that's something I'll need to work on. So I'll thank you for your time. Thank you for listening.